Hey YouTubers, welcome back to the channel. It's that van guy again with another weekly video. Today we're going to be checking out this box I got from Quincy Magoo's School for 1/64 scale drivers. Kind of a crazy name for a Facebook page, but he does a lot of picture auctions and stuff, and he has does find a lot of weird and oddball stuff, so I guess the name does fit the stuff that he finds and sells. I'll try to include a link in the description of the video down below to his Facebook page. It is a closed group, but you still might be able to find it and request it. So I'll try to include that link in the comments or in the description of the video. But let's pour this box out and we'll take a look at all this cool stuff. I got a bunch of different stuff, but most of it's loose. I think this is the only thing I got that was carded. This is a cheaper Johnny Lightning 1971 Plymouth GTX. Kind of a cool one. I really love that body style, and I like that car. It's kind of similar to the one that was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. There's a little info from the card, if you can read that. But it looks like it's a cheaper line. It's on a real small card. Looks like it's got plastic wheels. But we'll be opening that, and we'll be opening all this stuff. Most of it's loose anyway, but I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'm going to get all this stuff out of the bag to make it quick so we can shoot right through it, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I got all the stuff out of the little bags. First one we're going to be checking out is a Yat Ming. This is an older van. And I have a few that look very similar if you take a close look at the wheels and the shape of the little porthole window in the back. It's kind of an oval bubble shape. I got two other vans. They don't say Yat Ming on the bottom like this one does. But if you take a look at the body, they're very, very similar. They got the little like sunroof thing on top, the little square pointed little moonroof or vent window, whatever you want to call that, on top. This one is, you could tell it's an older one because it's got the sticker, and the sticker's peeling a little bit. So a lot of these older vans, it just had a clear sticker on the body over the base paint. It wasn't actually tampoed on there like modern day Hot Wheels, but this one is called Devil's Den and didn't have that one. A lot of these older vans from the 70s, you know, they're fairly cheap. There's not really much to them. Just a cheap plastic base and cheap plastic wheels. Next one up, as you'll see, it's same exact body style, same side bubble window, same little square vent on top. Very similar wheels. But this one does not say Yat Ming on the bottom. It just says number 634 and made in China. But the body is almost identical, just a different paint scheme. Another one that I didn't have. And most of these I got really cheap. All the stuff was obviously loose, and a lot of it was in played with condition. So I got pretty good deals on everything. Here's one called Vulcan, and this one, same deal. Same oval bubble window in the back, same square vent window on top. Very similar wheels. An older version with just a clear plastic sticker over the base body, base color body. And this is in played with condition, and this one says Yat Ming. So another Yat Ming. Now I have another one that's very similar, but I'm not sure if it's Yat Ming. It could be a later Yat Ming because of the wheels. The wheels are different. The shape of the rear bubble porthole window is more of a round shape. It's not so oval, but it does have the square vent window on top. It also has a little light poking through it. This is Forest Patrol. It does have different wheels on it, but it could be a newer one released later on, and that's why the wheel style was slightly different. And you can see it just says made in China. It doesn't say Yat Ming or any brand on the bottom. Just a chromed plastic base. Next up, we got some Magoo vans. This is from the Ghost Hunters TV show from the Sci-Fi Channel. And this one is in pretty nice shape. This was, I'm not sure if it was sold in a 5-pack or if it was sold in a single. I believe it was a single. But I like the lowered stance and the big wheel look on this one. One thing that's kind of weird on this body or casting is the windshield is like extra large or extra long. So if you look at it real closely from the side, it just looks off. And the hood looks really small or skinny. Take a look at the bottom. You can see it says Magoo. 2000 Chevrolet Express van. Made in China. And you can see how low that windshield goes and how skinny the hood is. It's kind of weird. But other than that, I think it's a pretty cool van. We have a couple more Magoos. Here's a fantasy van casting called Fantasy from Magoo, and they put out quite a few of these. I probably have 3 or 4 of these, and I got 2 more that I didn't have. I think this is some sort of an Easter egg or an Easter seasonal version. Not in bad shape, a little bit banged up on the corners. Bumpers have a little bit of the bumper paint scratched off. But the image is in pretty good shape, and the rest of it's not bad. Kind of a weird van, kind of raked and chopped, really skinny windows. It's just kind of a real cartoony one. I'll give you a shot of the bottom. You can see it says Magoo there on the bottom, and then on top it says Fantasy. Fantasy, that's the name of the casting. We got another Fantasy here, and this is from like a Marvel superhero set. This is something about Spider-Man on it. And I think this was a van for one of the evil supervillains or something like that. The Amazing Spider-Man. But I think the graphics were like Lizard Man or something like that. I think that's why it's got the two-tone green with like the scales looking thing, like Alligator Man or something like that. I'm not real up on my superheroes, unfortunately. You can see it says Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, Oscorp on the hood. Again, it says Fantasy and Magoo. So another cool oddball fantasy casting, van casting from Magoo. Next up, we're going to switch up to this one here, which I really don't know much about. This is a Kidco release, made in Macau. I think there was some, maybe some, can't think of the name now. There was some, maybe Matchbox were made in Macau. Older Matchbox, so I don't know much about this Kidco. Just a different weird van, and I think it's supposed to be from the MASH TV show. And it was selling for a couple bucks, and it looked pretty close to mint, so I just thought it's an oddball van. It looks like it's from the MASH TV show. So I just figured I would grab it for a couple bucks. It's in pretty decent condition. It's got a little bit of a plastic push bar on the front. It's got some weird portholes and top, like dual sun visors. Plastic wheels. So that's an oddball one I hadn't seen before. Next up, we're going to do a couple, shoot through some Matchbox, or Hot Wheels, I'm sorry. This is a cool combi from the Volkswagen 5-pack. I already got this one, but it's a pretty cool one, and because it's a 5-pack exclusive, I just thought if I grabbed a second one, like a double, maybe I could help someone find it that's looking for one for fairly cheap. A little bit played with, couple little flea bites, as they say, or chips, scratches. But for the most part, it's pretty nice shape. Then I got another popular Hot Wheels. This is my favorite casting of all times for all the Hot Wheels vans, the Custom 77 Dodge van. And this is the Moon Eyes release. There was also a Super Treasure Hunt of this version, slightly different color with real riders. This one is a little bit more banged up than I thought it was going to be. Sometimes in the pictures and the lighting, it's kind of hard to tell how clear the tampos are and if it's scratched up or not. But this one's a little bit rough, but I might use it as a custom and make like a go-kart van out of it. We got 2% Van Racing Hot Wheels. I think it's 2% Hot Wheels Van Racing is the name of the Facebook page, and they do a lot of downhill van racing. And they just recently started a craze where they are making these into go-karts, and they're cutting the windshield, the moonroof out, this big glass on top, taking that out and then putting like a dude inside, some sort of little plastic figurine like a driver, like he's driving a miniature go-kart, and then they downhill race those. So that one might end up being a custom. Here's another Hot Wheels. This is a Baja Breaker color changer. This one, I believe, changes between yellow and orange. And I have one in my possession that's kind of an orange version. But I wasn't really sure if there was a later version that was more yellow and a second version that was more orange. So I saw this one for sale for cheap. So I picked it up just to be on the safe side, to make sure that I have both in case there are actually two different slight variations to this Baja Breaker color changer from Hot Wheels. So I'm going to have to do some investigating on that and compare it closely with the one I already have. Now we're going to shoot through some Matchbox. This is a Matchbox Ford panel van. And I have a pretty good collection of these. There's some with the ladders on top, and then there's some without. I'm not really sure if this is like a Cartoon Network 5-pack or what. I'm not really sure. It says Kachin. Don't really know much about the cartoons on the side. But I'm not really sure what 5-pack this came from, but I know I didn't have it. So I wanted to add it to the collection with my other Ford panel vans. So glad to add that one, even though it is slightly in played with condition. Here's another Matchbox. This is a futuristic Volkswagen van, and I have quite a few of these, but I didn't have this paint scheme. This one also is in a little bit played with condition. It's kind of got a cool, maybe like surfing or waves or something, some sort of a two-tone blue and silver, or two-tone blue and white paint scheme. But it kind of reminds me of waves or windsurfing or something like that. Not really sure why. Let's take a look. Matchbox Volkswagen Microbus 2001. I'll give you a shot of that that Ford panel van too, because I didn't show the bottom. Another Matchbox we got. This one here. This is a Ford Transit van. And I didn't have this one. This is a Battalion Chief Paramedic Unit. Nice colors on this one, metallic purple and yellow, with a little light bar on top. I have quite a few of these Ford Transit vans from Matchbox, but I didn't have this version. So glad to add this one. Some of these, like these Ford Transit vans, not my favorite van body of all time. But, you know, if you find it for $1 or $2, you know, why not? I'm not going to go out of my way and spend $10, $12 on it on eBay. But if I could find it used for $1 or $2, in pretty decent shape, why not grab it, right? Here's a Matchbox Chevy van in a 4x4 chassis, or 4x4 base. I believe I have this paint scheme already, but I think it was in a silver or a white and blue. I did not have this green paint version. And this one is also in played with condition, but not too bad. pretty decent shape. And so I'm able to add another 4x4 Chevy van to the lineup. I don't know if you can see the casting name very well there. But I think this is a later release because the wheels are a little bit, the like rim style is a little more modern. So I think it's not quite the oldest version. And then last but not least, we're going to open up this Johnny Lightning 71 Plymouth GTX. Now this is just like, in my opinion, looks just like the one that was in one of the Fast and Furious movies. Let's take a look at it and see how it looks out of the packaging, shall we? I think it's just got plastic wheels. Yeah, it looks like plastic wheels. I'll have to take a look and see if that hood opens or not. It looks like it could possibly open. But that was the only carded one that I got this week. Really like this body style. I don't know if it's got a lean to the base, if it's a little bit crooked, or if it's just how I set it on the turntable. Not sure. But pretty cool looking one. It's definitely, I think it's from a cheaper line because it's just on a smaller card. And it's a lot less elaborate with the graphics and stuff. But it still has a lot of tampo action, headlights, taillights, side markers, stripes, white plastic interior. It's got some blacked out wheels. So I'm thinking it can't be that old of a vehicle, or that old of a release, I should say, because it's got the black wheels, which wasn't really a thing until the 2000s, I don't believe. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get it to focus. 71 Plymouth GTX, and then Chrysler Corp, and then there's some numbers on top, and Johnny Lightning logo, made in China. Just some plastic wheels, black 5 spokes with some chrome trim rings. Let's see if we can get this hood open. Yep, the hood does actually open on this, so bonus. Give you a little shot of the engine. So the hood does open. But I'm a real big fan of this body style. I think this is, I think it was a 71. But it does seem like it has a little bit of a lean. I'll take a look at that and see if the base isn't spun on all the way or what. See if I can fix that. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Just shoot through a whole bunch of loose vans and stuff that I got from Quincy Magoo's School for 164 Skilled Drivers. Just figured it would be too much to add to the weekly store finds and mail deliveries video because there's a whole box on its own. And then all the other stuff that I got for the week, it would just be like an hour-long video. So I just figured I would shoot through this. Let me try to zoom out here so you can get a good shot of all the cars or vans. And that's it. So check out the page. I'll try to include a link in the description of the video to the Facebook page, and you can check it out for yourself. And I hope you enjoyed the video today. Give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Also check out my Facebook page, That Van Guy. And also check me out on Instagram. I'm that_diecast_van_guy. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day.